Two double on the side.
Wow. I'm sorry. How many years old is this? Who said?
1797. How many years ago was that?
80 years.
No. Can you stop guessing and try to do the math?
Wow, this is the type what we're going to.
Was that? Yeah, you can photograph whatever you want.
1797.
Look at look. Look at look. That's where we're going to go into. That's where we're going to go into.
That's right.
So.
I wonder if this is readable.
Those are not telephones.
Doesn't seem like very,
So.
What ship is this wheel from?
It says the Constellation.
That's from the one you're about to go aboard.
It says the.
Not the restored one.
Whoa, hey up. That's the exact same. I'm going to send you for jacket. No, not here. No, not here.
Oh yeah, says it right here. Duh.
No, no. Look, it has the name on it. It's AF. Right here.
It was probably the captain's initials.
AF.
Want to see mine? Want to take a picture? Come on.
And smile in the picture. A real smile. A real smile.
Whoa, swords. Now we got some swords. Look at that sword.
Oh, you gonna hold it?
No, I want that.
You can't hold it anyway, so.
Wow, this is pirates. No, yeah. Wow. Come on, look and then go ahead.
Pirate sword was a pirate ship. Mira, estamos hablando del barco original. No, amigo,
No, we're about to board this ship, something. And first to ring the bell.
Thank you.
Sure.
Ariel. So are you not going to come next year to hold a planet?
I don't know. Guess it depends on if the opportunity presents itself.
Well, there's the rave and the masquerades.
I don't have a mask.
I told you, it's like where you watch skits.
It's going.
All right, permission to come aboard?
Yep. All 4 decks are open. If you have any questions, let me know.
All right.
Thank you. Oh, it's awesome.
How much of the year would they have these coverings?
Only when they were important.
Oh, okay. You're not part of the boat.
You have to share.
going to direct this one. When you say walk, is all three of you guys central or what? I want you guys to walk like this. Yeah, okay, so you want to like do 2.5 steps and then just move? Sure? What about the two of them? Where are they? Okay, let's do that. Yeah?
But my head is to stay on my head. So I guess actually I guess if I that should be fine.
Right. Well, why don't you do what I'm going to do is I'm going to come, walk you to the front. Are you actually going to walk off?
My dad will love this. Should I get a good shot of them?
You guys
You guys just need to figure out.
don't think about it too much. Caution walk.
Let's go over the other side. So this would not be done willy-nilly. They would not just be pulling on lines and trying to figure this out on their own. There would be someone like a petty officer, maybe a more higher-ranking junior officer that would be commanding them to do this. Okay? There would be several preparatory commands that they would follow before they went off and did these actions. So the first command, well, first thing, route this. Do not step on the lines. Very important because if you step on the line, you grind splinters against that deck. So either you or the people who will do this activity next will get lots of splinters in your hands. So great work. First command would be ready on the mizzen braces. For which you would say, ready on the mizzen braces, on. Now, why do you have to repeat anything back to me?
To tell that we actually know what you just said.
Right. You're going to tell that you're listening, you're not still arguing, you're not looking off somewhere, daydreaming, none of that stuff, okay? When you say ready on the mizzen braces, I will then pick up your line, stand still like throughout the whole thing, you'll be in a sort of sailor stance. Right? You basically have your feet pointed, there's no need to move your feet throughout the whole thing. Next command will be on the mizzen braces, brace for a port, starboard, or square tack, whichever one it is. Repeat that back to me. Say hi. Again, I want to hear it loud. I want to be able to hear this. This is long answer back. The last command will be on the mizzen braces. Let go. One side, let it go. Let go. Slacker, otherwise you won't be doing much. Like my friend on the end right there, you guys have lots of slack.
Dominic.
I guess all these guys are going to be doing all the work.
Put that rope down and pull it. It needs to be right up next to you.
It's just doing it slow.
On the missing braces, brace for upward attack. On the missing braces, let go and haul. This side you guys are hauling. Hand over hand, don't need to move your feet, remember, because we're letting go. Oh, fast, that means stop. Fast, all right. So, I've got this line, at this time, guys, you drop your lines all the way to the deck, all right? Now, go to the stern real quick and look up at the lowest yard on that mast. Everybody go back, go check that out real quick.
Go back here, guys. Go back here and look.
Totally okay.
We said about water bottles.
Good. Oh,
Permission to go below?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay, we have some over there.
Is this where
Standing here mixing stuff.
I'll give you the free list in a moment.
is this where the kitchen really would be?
Yes.
Really?
The stove would be quite larger now.
They never show that in the movies.
Now, it all depends on the layout of the vessel.
Is it movable? The stove? I mean,
This one.
if they were in a fix, would they be able to move
The
it?
actual one would have been, I'm sure, would have been bolted to the deck. Right there.
What?
The stove would have been bolted to the deck.
Yeah, it would have been on an iron slab on the deck because you don't want an iron stove and a wooden deck touching each other. That's just chaos with the ship. But it would have been an iron slab, and then it would have been welded kind of on top of that iron slab.
How big would the original stove have been?
3 times the size.
But it would have had the space of wall.
Yes.
They had lighted barrels.
What?
They had lighted barrels.
And the stove plate's called Jamie Noble.
Charlie Noble.
Charlie, never mind, Jamie Noble's was Charlie. Jamie Noble.
No, chew tobacco.
I used to like this.
Tobacco's poisonous if you get too much of it.
What's
Sure.
stuff?
Duff
Duff.
is basically a canvas bag that's going to be full of water, dough, flour, molasses, anything sweet you want to put in it. And you boil it, and boil it, and boil it, bake it, and boil it even more. And it gets the consistency of a bowling ball and pudding. So men would use that as a treat, like a dessert. And you'll see who would win it by, pulling it down the deck, and whoever gets the most points gets to keep the duff. And if he's a good man, he'll split it amongst his crew. If he's a bad man, unlike, he'll keep it to himself. But it was mostly given to sailors who are like their birthdays or an award, something
And how did you score points in the game?
They might put down some of the brass monkeys down at the end of the deck, or a couple blank pins from one deck down here, and see who can hit farthest point or who can hit the most. It's the predecessor of bowling.
I imagine that's a real sword, isn't it?
It is.
You're still in the Navy. You're still in the Navy, so.
They use the cutlasses today, yeah, as ceremonial, but I'm not in the Navy.
Oh.
I served in the Marine Corps for 3.5 years, Rail National Guard afterwards.
Well,
and then now I'm a
it is
historian.
technically still the Navy, you know.
What?
Marines.
Yes.
I know you guys hate hearing
the men's
that.
department of the Navy.
The men's, good one. I haven't heard that before. I like that. The men's department of the Navy.
just gets us where we want to go.
Yeah. You get what needs to be done. Good work. Thank you for serving.
Thank you.
Jeez. Take a look at these other plaques.
I was wondering if you could manage.
I think I got that one.
Using a plastic spoon.
Okay, come on, let's go.
It's just amazing all this wood is single pieces. There's no composite boards here. I mean, you gotta find big trees for this stuff. How big would the anchor be on this thing? Well, how big is the anchor on this thing?
Well, we would have 13 anchors, 2 of which are our biggest ones, will weigh just about 7,050 pounds. Those are the ones that are on the pier.
Okay.
And the other ones are smaller, used for different purposes, such as kedging. Kedging is when we have no wind, or we get into a port like this. There's, we can't sail into our slip.
Drag.
So we take our boats, small boats on the ship, put those anchors on those boats. They'll row out to that point, drop the anchor, and then we use the capstan, the round bit that's back there. There's 2 of them. We add 80 men on, and you will pull the ship to the anchor, so on and so on, until we get to the point where we want to be.
Boy, that sounds laborious.
It can take some time.
Yeah.
But each man will have their own turn of hauling up on the capstan. We have 321 men on the crew, and about 80 men at a time will be hauling the anchor.
Now there is a Coast Guard ship that's used for doing this training still, isn't there?
Yes, that's the Bark Eagle. She's based out of Groton, Connecticut. However, this October she's being sent down here to Baltimore at Curtis Bay Coast Guard Yard for 4 years for rehaul and maintenance, and stationed here for training.
Didn't know Lockheed Martin was in the lumber industry too.
Well, they're into everything.
It's an incredible piece of machinery, art.
Can't go to Vantage. That's all it was back then. This was top-notch stuff back in the day.
Well, and it survived.
Yeah, well built.
Yeah.
You can't say that for much modern ships.
Yeah.
What's
This is the mast.
Yes.
But why are they at different levels or?
So these are the wedges to keep the mast into place. We can also use, take out smaller ones and put bigger ones in the back to rake the mast backwards. The more you have the mast backwards, put more sails up, and you will push the mast forward, pushing the ship faster. The more you have them standing up straight, the more tendency they're going to break.
Huh.
So you always want the mast raked on any sort of ship. You'll see that most schooners have their rakes.
At like what degree?
This one's at a 7 degree, and then 12.
Huh. I'll have to take a closer look at that.
A lot of times the only reason they have that, especially on the racing boats, is it looks good. Stylish.
It's mostly for looks.
Yeah, it's mostly looks, yeah.
Well, although I noticed the mast is actually made of multiple pieces.
Yeah, this one is. It's called laminated mast.
Yeah.
And back in the 70s, the original mast got struck by lightning and toppled over and hit the aftermast. So we had a fund for money around Maryland to build these new masts. And what they are is laminated. They basically put layers of wood together, all together, and then put bands of steel around them together for looks. Now they won't hold the same weight as the older masts. The original masts were different pieces of wood added onto each other like a puzzle piece. Three pieces of wood together. Because if the top piece of wood broke, that's okay. You can replace that top piece of wood instead of replacing the entire slab, the entire mast.
That makes a lot more sense.
Yep. And we would actually bring in pieces of wood and stow them on this deck here, parts of different masts, or along the side of the ship. That's why they have the holes on forward, these gun ports that are on the forward of the ship. You can put wood, big poles into the ship, and stow them down below. Everything has a purpose underneath the ship.
Yeah, no doubt. And these bolts, are they? Oh, I got one loose there.
This one?
That one. The nut is down at the end.
Oh, that's fine.
Oh, okay. It's not coming out.
These are attached to the pin rail right above us. It's what holds all the lines together from up aloft.
Right.
It's anchored down to this point right above us.
But somehow I doubt that that's original.
They would actually use cast iron.
They had.
Well, this is a modern thing, but you would use cast iron like the ones up on the wall.
Which ones? Like these rivets here? These rivets here, you mean?
Yep. Those are original pieces. All the iron work, except for those, are original to the ship.
Oh.
The ship is at 52% original.
52.
The bottom two decks are original, and then all the iron work.
Oh. Okay.
You can say that for the Constitution from Boston. She's like 28% original.
Didn't fare quite as well, huh?
Yep. And it's,
So I guess your name is Dan.
yep. And this is my family.
Oh well. Let's take a look at those plaques over there. Okay.
That's what it is. Hardtack and the salt pork.
Watch your head.
I just want to make sure.
Now, did you ever eat salted pork?
I'm trying not to make physical contact with the food.
I have never had salt.
But just.
Working on top deck. Tomorrow morning at 10.
What time is it? Thanks. If I go for my phone, my camera work suffers. Not that it's all that stellar at the moment anyway, but... Okay. Alright. Guess I'll have to pick up the pace a little bit.